Luca, AD, Kuzma, Jimmy Buckets, De'Aaron Fox with Wimby. There's all these pieces moving to all these contenders. What about our Cavs? They're 40-10. They look great when they don't play really good teams, and then they're like, okay, against the Celtics and the Thunder, and they seem to get themselves in like 30-point holes on the regular. Usually they crawl out, but long story short is, in watching the Cavs play elite talent, I feel like there's a gap that we're going to have to get over or bridge if we're going to fix if we're going to win a championship, because we don't really need to fix a 40-10 team. So I don't want to mess up the chemistry. I like what they're doing. The question is, what should our Cleveland Cavaliers be looking to do at this deadline? Noah, why don't you get us started?
Most realistic option before I get into any of this stuff I'm about to spew on live at the office. They're most likely going to be members of the buyout market, try to find a rebounder to come in and fill the hole that is honestly gaping when George Niang has to come in and play the floor. That's the biggest reason I think we lost that Celtics game yesterday, is because when we have Niang in there and Mobley has to shift down to the 5, we just don't have the rebounding prowess to go against what they have when they have Kristaps out there and some of their backup bigs and that kind of thing. And the goal right now in terms of team construction, in my mind, is the Celtics are our only roadblock. We've looked good against OKC. We've lost to OKC, don't get me wrong. But getting past the Celtics, all bets are off in terms of the finals at that point. So in my mind, that's what's going on. That being said, do we want to be a little splashy? Of course we want to be a little splashy. It wouldn't be sports talk without it, man. So you know what I want? I want a former Cleveland Cavalier. I want a former Cleveland Cavalier. I want a former NBA champion, a big man with spacing ability and the ability to rebound the rock like no other. Kevin Love. George Niang, 2 second-round picks. Get her done. There'd have to be a couple other players thrown in there in terms of the back end just to make the cap work. But I love the idea of Kevin Love coming in here to fit that rebounding backup big role that we need at the 4. He has the shooting ability of George Niang and then some. I think he makes a lot of sense, man.
It's not an awful take, if I'm being 100% honest. If we look at this roster, and then you look at this roster and get rid of one of the 12, 13, 14, 15 guys, and add Kevin Love, are we a better team? Yes. Do we beat the Celtics is what I'm unsure of. And in watching the game, I like the take, Noah. The other guy that I came up with is going to be equally as controversial, and I want to get your thoughts because I'm not even sold on it myself. But watching the game last night, we lacked 2 key elements. Rebounding, we got killed. They kept getting offensive rebounds and second and third and fourth shots at the rim, which against any team is going to be tough. Against the Celtics, it's like good night. It's a death sentence. And defense, if you know they play good defense, your shooting may suffer. You need to be able to stop them at the other end of the floor. Part of me thinks this is gross. Part of me thinks it's a great idea. I'm not even fully there yet. But if you replace Isaac Okoro with Ben Simmons, is this team better than it is now in the areas we need to be better to compete and beat the Celtics?
So let me raise you one real quick, because
his salary is bad. That's another issue. But just on talent, what we need. Yeah, go ahead.
Ben Simmons is a roster fit for sure. He's floated around a bunch in terms of the Cleveland Cavaliers and potential acquisition. But I think Ben Simmons is going to hit the buyout market. So I don't think we have to worry about dealing one of our pieces, especially I value Isaac Okoro highly for his defensive prowess and what he can do behind the arc. Most of the time, right? He isn't always on, but I do value Isaac Okoro's role, whether it be off the bench or coming in to start at the 3 from time to time, depending on defensive matchups. I'm all for Ben Simmons to be a Cleveland Cavalier if he's in the buyout market after he gets cut and we can just sign him for whatever money we want to. So I don't think your take's wrong. I think your take doesn't require a trade to happen.
Fair enough.
I think that.
What say you? Yeah, our well-researched colleague, he's going to give another dissertation on this. Get your notepad, Noah.
Well, first of all, my sources are telling me that the biggest name that they're willing to move in any potential trade would be Karis LeVert. That said, I don't think that a move happens. I agree with Noah that I think whatever we do happens in the buyout market. Same thing we did last year. Altman didn't make any moves at the deadline, but we picked up in the buyout. That said, there are two names that have been floated recently, and that's DeAndre Hunter, the Hawks forward, along with the Nets forward, Cam Johnson. I think they both make sense in our team. Cam probably a little more so from a salary standpoint. I think he's around like 35 million a year, something like that. I just don't see the Cavs making any splashy moves. Here's the thing. I've come around on this Cavs team much more than back when we started talking about this way back at the beginning of the season. When we're healthy, we can hang with anybody. I think our focus needs to be on getting healthy, because the lack of depth is what's killing us right now. Lack of depth certainly in our big men. I wouldn't mind picking somebody up there. The Kevin Love move I don't really like, because our offensive efficiency and what we've done and why our offense is so good this year is we've really increased the pace. And Love doesn't really fit into that, in my opinion, anymore. He's a little too old to get up and down the floor, like what we need in this offense that we're running under Atkinson. I love Kevin Love. I got his bobblehead up there behind me, but I just don't think he fits in what we're trying to do on offense. I agree with what you guys are saying, though. I mean, we need depth at that position. I'm just not sure he's the answer, but I don't think they're going to make a move. I would be pretty surprised. And I'm just going to throw a curveball out there. The only way it happens is if the man himself says he wants out, but what if LeBron wants out and wants to come?
I don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm so good.
Whoa, why is it bullshit?
If he wants out, I don't want to trade for LeBron. I'm just over the we need LeBron to be anything mentality here in the city. And but wait, what if LeBron goes to Cleveland? I'm sick of it. Let him go do what he wants to do. He already told Myles Garrett to leave. I'm just kidding on that point, right? But I'm just good on it. Unless he's coming in for the veterans minimum, John, you've said it before on the show. If he's coming in and he'll accept his role and not play le GM for the next 2 years, and we got to bring Bronny and Bryce, and Gloria's got to be a ref, and this, that, and the third.
Listen, it's controversial.
Gloria's
but you're talking
ref.
about a guy you could stick into the three that can facilitate. I mean, the stuff that LeBron does off the ball even is just so far above everybody else. I think he could put us over the edge. The question, of course, is chemistry. Is a guy like Darius, who already...
I'm looking at this whole thing and I'm thinking, it's not a we need LeBron to win. It's a we need a three who can play a really good role, and LeBron's still a really good three, even if he's not Superman anymore. So if he accepts the role, I don't think it's bullshit. I think if LeBron comes and says, yeah, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, the offense runs through them, their guards anyway, I'm the next best option. I can play my role. I'll play good defense, and I'll hit my shots when I'm open or drive and dunk it. The Cavs could be actually exceptionally dangerous with LeBron at the three.
And let's not forget one fine point on this. That's exactly what he wanted to do with Kyrie. He wanted to hand the keys off and be that guy, and Kyrie, he was already gone at that point. So
can we get out of La La Land now? LeBron's not coming to Cleveland. Get it out of your guys' head. Can we get out of La La Land now? I want to propose a trade. So you brought up DeAndre Hunter, who is an actual name linked to the Cleveland Cavaliers, not us just being Cavs fans and being like, let's get LeBron again. Karis LeVert has been rumored in a deal for DeAndre Hunter. My thoughts. DeAndre, we give them Niang or Merrill. We give them Karis LeVert. We give them 2 to 3 seconds. Maybe you throw in that first round pick in 2031, whatever next first round we can throw. Are you taking that trade?
Say it one more time. I want to write something down.
DeAndre Hunter we'll just leave it at Niang, LeVert, 3 second-round picks.
3?
That's wild.
Second round picks? Who gives a fuck? It's the NBA.
But that's what I was going to say.
It's not that
14.
It's not that I value the picks. I'm not sure. I think we can get him for less than that.
Okay, 2 then. I wrote 2 down to start. I just wanted to be a little more, I don't know, proposition-y.
Karis LeVert's shooting 40+% from 3 this year. I just don't know that DeAndre is worth. Yeah, I agree with Gavin here. I prefer Cam Johnson. I'm just not sure that DeAndre's worth potentially messing up chemistry. At this point, that's what we have to worry about, in my opinion. This is a team that can beat anybody. We've seen it. They just need to get back to that.
I'll raise you one even better. DeAndre Hunter is childhood friends with the 6th man of the year, Ty Jerome. So I'm not worried about chemistry.
Is he? Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't pull that out of my ass. That's true.
That's interesting.
I think I would do it, honestly, Noah. I'm a little worried about chemistry, but I also, you got a big 4, you got a starting 5. None of those people you mentioned are in it. If you have a chance to make your team better in the right direction at the right position, and you're trading a George Niang, or even almost an Isaac Okoro, or a Karis
LeVert. He said both in that scenario, didn't?
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it because it's 2 bench players, and you're getting somebody who's that high of a caliber. I mean, put it this way: when you look up and we go, "Oh my God, we made no moves at the trade deadline and we beat the Boston Celtics," is it because Karis LeVert had a good series? No, he's a good bench player, and I like him, and he's really honed his game since he got here. There is no shade to Karis; he works his ass off. So does Niang. The minivan is one of my favorite players on this team. But if we're going to make a run at a championship and beat Boston, if it comes down to George Niang, we lose the series. I'm telling you that right now.
Can I do just one quick note? You guys are probably already aware, but Hunter was actually somebody that we nearly drafted in the first round in the 2019 draft.
Yeah. Yep. He has been tied to Cleveland for a while. I could see it going through. And I get your point on LeVert being 40% from 3. He has been cold lately ever since he came back from the injury. So part of my thought process here is maybe the Cavs are like, he's made his bed. Let's go get a solid. I mean, DeAndre is basically plug and play at the 3 if you wanted.
He's an upgrade for sure.
So
you're going to get increased scoring and you're going to get rebounding. And you guys already from the top said that that's what we need. And it's so frustrating. I don't know what's going on. Watching games. No, I agree. But watching games, it's so frustrating seeing guys not box out. Like very simple. Like guys are flying in to get that rebound. What's happening? This is basic basketball.
It's hard when you have the small ball lineup that we have to run off of the bench. When you have George Niang playing the 4, that's the problem there.
That's a problem.
Mobley is still coming into his own, being a physical specimen. You know what I mean?
But they're not rebounding over our guys. You guys have played basketball. A small guy can rebound. You have the proper form. I'm saying they're just kind of standing there waiting for the ball to come to them.
Not against Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. Maybe against another shitty skinny guard, but Evan Mobley's not a banger down low, even though he has a good post game. And Jared Allen isn't as bit like Porzingis is going to be an issue. He was shooting like crap and missed all of his threes. He's the one. I think Jason Tatum's still a choke artist. I think Brown is one of the most underrated players in the league. He's the one you got to watch. But if you step back, let him beat you and shut everything else off, you're like, okay, how does this go bad? Tatum's going to choke. What? Kristaps Porzingis is a menace, bro. He played poorly in the game last night and still was getting his down low and going to. I mean, he's a problem, and the problem is not have an answer for.
Yeah,
I know we beat them the last time before that game, but even when Porzingis isn't in there, they kill you beyond the arc. I mean,
yeah, they shoot well, but we shoot well. We shoot well too.
We do for sure, but.
We have the best three-point team in the NBA, honestly, by percentage. Celtics take more, but we have a better percentage.